Yo, what's good? You know how we start this video, man. I'm Josh. Some of my friends call me Sway about Zero. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you 5 different mistakes I made when starting my clothing brand. So stay tuned. One of the first mistakes I made when starting my clothing brand is not knowing about sizing or sizing charts when talking to like these manufacturers. So it was my first cut and sewn piece, and all I knew I wanted was my graphic to be really big on the shirt. That's all I knew. So when he was sending me like pictures of how it was looking, I'm like, nah, that's not it. You feel me? Like I got my mock-up done, but like that's not how I want the graphic to look on the shirt. I know I just want it big. And he asking me like, what's the dimensions you want? Like, what's the width? What's the length? I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, I just know I want it, big on the shirt. You feel me? So eventually, like, just by him, making a couple samples, and sending me pictures back and forth, we finally like got exactly what I wanted, like with the size, and then we had to go with, color, because that was an issue as well. But so he sent me my sample, and when I approved the sample, I'm like, oh, I like the way it fit, you know what I mean? It's like a good quality, everything was good. Then when I got the actual shirts in, it was a little bit different. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, what changed? You feel me? What I realized that the neck on the actual shirts that I got done was different from the samples that I got made. And I'm like, man, like, I didn't realize that until like all the shirts was done. And at this point, I didn't pay for the shirts. I have 50 shirts now I have to get off. The shirts still fit cool, but they didn't fit exactly how I wanted. And like, when you dropping something, bro, like that could be like, it's like a make or break, for you personally, you know what I mean? For the consumer, it may be fine because they don't really probably not recognize that detail, but for you, you do recognize that detail because like, it's actually your shirt, you feel me? So like, I got the sample, it fit like around my neck pretty much like this, but then when I got the actual shirts in, it's like a loose fitting neck, and I hated it. Like, I really hate it. I personally don't even think like I got to wear my shirt myself because of that issue, because I didn't really like how, that was, but that was my fault because I didn't, communicate that with the manufacturer, like, oh, like, all right. So not only the dimensions for my graphic, but how the shirt sizes as well, like for sizing charts. So when it comes to like sizing charts, the neck is a factor in that. The length you want the shirts, the width you want the shirts, you like a boxy fit, a slim fit. Then the second time I got them done, it was like really slim and like a tight fitting shirt with these black shirts that I had got done. So I say that's my first mistake I made when starting my clothing brand. To get that, I would say like go to Google and type in like whatever brand that you want to, and then type in sizing charts, so like for each different like style that you're going for, you have a sizing chart that you can send to the manufacturer, so for sure it's gonna be exactly how you want to, and not like just like you being surprised when it come in. Along with that, number 2, the second mistake I made with my clothing brand is rushing a product and not getting a sample. I messed up on that. Literally, like, that was my second time getting the cut and sewn. So the black shirts that I was just talking about, I had got some shirts made, and I didn't like them. So I had randomly found a manufacturer on Instagram, and I'm like, look, these are shirts that I want. I want the graphic to be really big on the shirts, because I'm really like, I like my graphics to like be really big on the shirt. So like, that's like that was like my main focus, So, cause I'm like just getting into clothes, and that's the only thing I know. I just know I want my graphic to be really big. And the manufacturer wrote me back. He could do it. It's gonna be this price. And it's gonna take, I'm like, can I get it within a week? He like, yeah, I'll get it to you in a week. So I'm like, cool. So I sent him the money, sent him the graphic, and he got the work. So when I got the shirts in, man, I was really excited. I just came back from a trip. I see this box in front of my door, you feel me? So I'm like, man, I busted open. I took the shirt out. I'm like, okay, the quality cool. You know what I mean? I'm liking it, you feel me? I'm like, this a large? Okay, cool. I put it on, and like, it's like real fitting. Like, you feel me? Like the collar is cool, compared to the last shirt, but this shirt is real snug. And I'm like, bro, like, I gotta drop this. Like, I told people I'm dropping these shirts like within 2 days. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I already had some shirts that got messed up. Then I bought these shirts. So like, what am I gonna do? So I'm like, wow, that's another mistake that I made. Just because, one, it's like, it was my fault because I didn't get a sample. And I was rushing. The whole process was like, oh, I want to drop these shirts at this date. Then on top of that, I'm making a deadline for myself that doesn't have to be met because you make your rules. Like, you making your clothing brand. It's not like you in school and this paper is due on the 15th. No, bro, like you literally make, when you decide when you want to drop, you decide everything you want to do because it's your clothing brand. So I just put that on myself, and I told people I was dropping when I had literally nothing. So that's another mistake I guess I could add to this. Don't put out no release dates or nothing like that until you have your actual product, because literally anything can happen to your product in the in between time. Like, you could get your product, it could get messed up, the shipping could take longer than expected, anything could happen. So I definitely say make sure you're not rushing the process of getting your clothes, and you getting a sample, so you know you're getting exactly what you want and you're not being surprised when you get your product in. This actually should have been number 2, but number 3, another mistake I made with starting my clothing brand, bro, is knowing the different type of files your artwork can come in. I'm still learning that process myself. So long story short, I had dropped my first shirts with the DTG printing, and it was gonna be like a little minute until I get my very next shirts was the anime girl shirt. So I'm like, man, I really need something in between because like I want to kind of keep my momentum going, and it's like I don't want to have no long break in between. So I found like one of them random Instagram pages that sell graphics. So I bought a graphic for literally $50, and I'm like, all right, this is a cool little graphic. I like it. It kind of like flows with what I'm going right now, which is a skull theme. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just get these made. I'm gonna get them DTG printed like I did the last shirts, and I'm gonna go to the same person. So I reached out to him. He said he could do it. You know, it said it's gonna take like a week or 2 to come in. I was like, that's fine because I'm trying to drop around this date. So I sent him the artwork, and he was like, oh, he not gonna have no bags to put him in because he ran out of bags. I was like, that's fine. I really just want to get these shirts so I can get them out. He printed it. He sent me the shirts. I got the shirts, and I'm like, bro, what is this? This was the mock-up, and this is what I got in. And I'm like, bro, what is this? Like, you literally did fine on the very first shirts, but what is this? Like, you know, and I had like a lot of back and forth with him trying to get my money. That didn't work because he had already printed the shirts. He sent me the shirts, and he was like, this is the artwork I sent him. And we kind of just had like a lot of, you know, back and forth. So what I realized is it was the actual artwork, like he was saying, because the artwork had a border around it. So it was like a square shape. So it was like, he's gonna print it how I sent it to him. And it was also like the file that I sent it to him in. I don't think was it transparent at first? I don't really remember, but I just remember that the file, how I sent it, it was like square shaped and boxed off. But I didn't know that because I never made the mock-up myself. I just went with the mock-up that the graphic designer that I bought it from sent it to me. Like, so I never did it myself or actually looked at the graphic. I just sent it to him. Now, granted, I feel like I feel like the dude that printed the shirts for me should have been like, okay, like when he printed the first shirt, he should have been like, all right, well, look, this don't look nothing like the mock-up that he sent me. But, you know, I gotta take some of the fault in that too, because I never even looked at the artwork. I just kind of went with the dude said, like, oh, this the artwork, it's $50, and I just sent it straight to him. So not knowing your artwork files, that is a mistake I made as well. So even with like that story, it still ties into the number 2, which I said, which is you know, rushing and not getting no samples. So I actually wasted money because I had got those shirts done. They came back messed up. So those shirts, I ended up just passing them out to like homeless people. And then that's when I reached out to that manufacturer, and I had rushed and got those shirts, which also came back like a little messed up. So like I just kind of lost money with that whole little design and just trying to rush. Like I didn't spend and wasted way too much money. So like I probably didn't even make all my money back. You know, I probably was in a hole for that shirt. So that's definitely a lesson learned there. So don't rush. Make sure you get it. Don't rush. Make sure you get a sample, and know your artwork type. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you check out your artwork when you get it. So don't just like be like, oh yeah, I got it from him, it's fine. You know. This was also a part of me wasting a little bit of money. First of all, ordering too much, but ordering too much of one size. That killed me. Especially my very first time dropping shirts. I ordered I think an even amount of each size, but just a little bit more of medium or larges. But I had all of these smalls. It took me forever to get rid of these smalls. I cut the price in half. I did this, I did that. And it took me forever to get rid of these smalls. Most people was coming to me like, oh bro, you got any more larges off? I'm like, no, sold out. You got any 2Xs? No, I only got 2, sold out. And I'm like, man, I didn't order these sizes and I'm like, they not selling. People not wearing this size. Especially I don't know if it's just in the US or Louisiana, people are just naturally bigger down here. You feel me? I think it's in the US, compared to other countries and stuff. But the smalls was just not going, and I'm like, what's going on? But I didn't do my due diligence with that as well. You feel me? I'm like, all right, I should have asked who my consumer is gonna be, and what size they wearing. I think I did a little small, little poll, what size do y'all wear? But I don't even think I took that into consideration. So make sure when you making your orders, the sizes that your consumers are. So I would probably say do a poll or a questionnaire, or just something to figure out what sizes that you need to get the most of. Also, don't overbuy, with products, you know what I mean? Because I said, I don't know if you watched the last video, but in the last video I was speaking about how it took me so long to just sell shirts. But somebody recently told me don't ever overbuy, because one thing for sure, if you sell out, you can buy more. But if you have more, you're gonna just do whatever it takes to try to get those shirts off, because you want to kind of get, when you drop, you kind of want to get that going quick, because you want to kind of get to your next, your next drop, your next piece, or however you want to put it, so don't ever overbuy, because you can always make more of whatever that item is if it's really sought after. So the last mistake I made, which I said in the last video, is not reinvesting your bread into the brand. Bro, that is very important. I think somebody even say have a separate account just for your brand, because whatever money that your brand generates, just for the brand, because the more that you put into the brand, the higher you can scale it up every single time. And the more money that you can make, the bigger your brand is gonna be. So make sure that you're reinvesting any money that you make back into the brand. And you have your own account, for that as well. You feel me? So when it comes to taxes time and, just things like that. And so you can keep track of everything that your clothing brand is making and all the expenses it has as well. So that's definitely a mistake I made, not reinvesting that money back into the brand, because it's once you mess up that money, unless you have a lot of money coming in, it's hard to kind of, put that back in there and then get back to where you was at, and then also spending that money that you were supposed to reinvest, it kind of kills your whole momentum. Even if your momentum was slow, it was still going. But now that you spent that money, now you put it to a pause, you stopped everything, you feel me? So make sure you keep that in mind. Do not mess up the re-up money. Yo, I hope you enjoyed that video and you was able to get some information from it. I was really going back and forth myself about doing this video and recording this video, just because with my channel, I had a certain quality level set, when it comes to recording these videos. And now that I'm pretty much gonna be recording the videos by myself and I'm recording on my phone, it was just man, the quality not gonna be what I want right now. I don't have the lighting, because my light recently broke, you feel me? And then I go outside, it's too loud outside because I don't have a mic. So I'm finding all of these issues on why I can't record the video. Then I have to think to myself bro, all I'm making is excuses right now, you feel me? And I really could work with what I have. I got my phone to record on. I'm using natural lighting right now. You feel me? And I got my iPad to edit the videos on, or even my iPhone. You feel me? So I'm bro, that's the whole point of this channel, is building up from the ground up. So it's ground zero is literally that, bro. You having nothing and you building everything from the ground up. So right now, I gotta build my YouTube channel up. I have to build my clothing brand up. I'm gonna be building my wardrobe up. So like, that's literally, everything is like at ground zero. So like, I'm like, I have to think to myself and like, bro, like that's the whole purpose and like meaning of this channel, you know what I mean? And like the whole message that I'm trying to get out. Like, you know, you could have nothing and like grow something, you feel me? Like, even when it comes to like your clothing brand, if you have no money to start up, you literally could start with pre-sales. If you don't want to start with pre-sales, because I don't like doing pre-sales myself, you literally could start with one shirt. You start with one shirt, you get two shirts. You start with one shirt, you get two shirts, 2 to 4, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, you got 10 shirts. Next thing you know, you got 20 shirts, 40 shirts, you feel me? So it's like you're literally growing every single time, you feel me? So just kind of keep that in mind when like you thinking about anything that you want to start doing. You may not have everything that you want, like ideally, but you literally have everything that you need, like literally right in front of you. You know what I mean? So kind of just keep that in mind. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the page. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.